Hi y'all, it's Julie from Consider It Joy Homestead. Tonight I'm going to show you one of my favorite recipes for making when you have a bumper crop of tomatoes. A few years back we had planted more tomatoes than we actually needed because we figured we would lose some along the way, and we didn't. We had a ton. We had tomatoes coming out our ears. We couldn't even give them away anymore. Nobody wanted any more. We gave them enough tomatoes. They were completely happy. We made sauces, we made salsa, we made fried green tomatoes. I mean, everything that we could think of to make. And it was coming towards the end of the season. Our frost date was coming by, and they were reporting that we were actually going to have frost. So I went ahead and picked all the green tomatoes that were still on the vine, and there was a ton. So that year I found a recipe for green tomato pie. And I thought, I don't know about that. And when I was reading some of the reviews on it, it said that it tasted like apple pie. And I thought, I don't know about that. We'll still have to try it because I got all these green tomatoes and I need to do something with them. So I went ahead and made a couple of them. And even my husband, who doesn't like tomatoes raw, he's just not a big tomato fan. He'll eat it in salsa and ketchup and sauce, you know, pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce, but he won't touch much else with tomatoes. Even he really loved it. So I ended up making several pies, and I stored them for the holidays. We had them for Thanksgiving, we had them at Christmas. We just put them in the freezer and baked them later. So it worked out really well, and it helped me use up some of those tomatoes. And I'm not having that trouble yet this year. I hope that I do have a bumper crop of tomatoes, but usually when we do this is when it's getting closer to the end of the season and you need something to do with the leftover greens before the frost comes. So I wanted to give you this video before that time, so if you wanted to try green tomato pie, you would already know how to do it. The ingredients for the green tomato pie is sugar, flour, cinnamon, salt, of course the green tomatoes, and cider vinegar, and your pie crust. Now my recipe didn't say that it had to be certain size just to have it thinly sliced, but I like to go through and kind of slice them down several times across so that I have thin slices that are only an inch to inch and a half in width. Putting them through into my measuring cup until I have my 3 cups. Once I have my 3 cups of green tomatoes cut, I go ahead and take another bowl, and I take 1.5 cups of sugar. That was 1 cup. And half sugar. And I take 5 tablespoons. My tablespoon is missing. I need a new set of these. So I have a 1/2 tablespoon, so I'm going to take 10 of these to mix it in with the sugar. That was 5 tablespoons of flour. And then I need a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a pinch of salt, and 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar. Now the cinnamon and the pinch of salt I had to add to the dry mixture. I like to use the pink Himalayan salt. To me that's a little bit better. I like the flavor a little bit better, and the extra minerals are a good thing to have too. The cider vinegar, I usually take a tablespoon and add that to the tomato mixture before I add the tomatoes in. Sometimes I put a little bit more cinnamon than that in there too. My family likes cinnamon. I'll end up sometimes even putting it on the crust before I put it in the oven. And again, I'm putting 2 of these because I don't have the tablespoon. I have a half tablespoon. And then I take my spoon and I mix up all of my dry ingredients and kind of blend it. You can see they're looking kind of tan now instead of just the pure white. Then I fold in the mixture of the green tomatoes and the vinegar. And this makes your internal pie filling. So next you will use your pie crust recipe, whatever pie crust recipe you have, or if you're in a hurry you can buy one of the pre-made crusts. Today for this video I did buy the roll-out pre-made crusts, but I'm still going to cut one of those to make a lattice top, make it a little bit prettier. If you don't have to do a lattice top, you can do either way you want to. The lattice work pie crust, I usually just put out a little flour on my surface and I go ahead and just cut little strips from the crust, little thin strips out of each bit here, all the way across this crust to make my lattice work. And be real gentle with the store-bought crust, because if you get to working too quickly you can kind of tear it a little bit. The surface I'm on right now is an old table that has a lot of wear and tear to it, so I'm not real worried about damaging the table, but I don't really want to go through too hard, so I'm trying to be gentle there. It's just an easier space for me to work. And then when I actually get over to work on the pie, it's really just a matter of kind of weaving in and out, deciding which layers you want to be on top and which layers you want to be underneath. So I just kind of weave them like this until you make it all the way across the pie. And then I like to sprinkle the top with a little extra sugar and cinnamon before putting it in the oven. Now it cooks in the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour. Sometimes it can be a little juicy, so I like to have a little pan underneath. The first year I made them, they put off a lot of excess juice as they cooked. So if you don't have a pan underneath, you're going to have a mess. here's the finished product. It's still bubbling a little bit. Just came out of the oven. And it's really yummy. You should all give it a try.